Hello, I'm Coach Frank Allocco, and today I'd like to speak to you about the importance of role models. At Excel Camp last week, I spoke to the campers about achieving balance in their lives, about pursuing excellence in all of their endeavors while maintaining focus and keeping perspective on the real outcomes. When I was a young boy in New Jersey, I had the privilege to watch and learn from Bill Bradley, a man of incredible character, an exemplary role model who stood for so much more than his athletic accomplishments. During his senior year at Princeton University, the book A Sense of Where You Are, written by John McPhee, told the amazing story of Bradley's extraordinary academic and athletic accomplishments and his sense of awareness of the role basketball played in his life. Bill Bradley was an outstanding student and gifted high school basketball player from Crystal City, Missouri, who turned down 75 high-level basketball scholarships to attend Princeton, an Ivy League school that did not offer athletic scholarships. He made this decision believing that the Princeton education offered him the best opportunity to prepare for a life of public service. Bradley's athletic success was due to his overwhelming dedication, not his athletic ability. In fact, Bucky Waters, Duke's head coach who recruited him, said, in terms of innate basketball skills, coordination, quickness, jumping, he wasn't even in the top 2/3 of the players I've ever seen. But despite those deficiencies, Bradley believed that anyone can be an All-American. All it took was 3 hours a day, 365 days a year. He lived the words taught to him at a basketball camp by Celtic player Ed Macaulay, who said, when you are not practicing, somewhere someone else is, and when you meet, they will win. Bradley's early pursuit of excellence teaches us to stay focused on our goals, to maximize our time, and give our best in every situation. He was the son of a bank president, and the Bradley family spent their winters in Palm Beach, Florida. The young teenager would leave school at 2 p.m., go straight to the outdoor basketball courts to work on his game for 3 hours at a time, all in the pursuit of his dream. One summer, he was aboard the Queen Elizabeth cruise ship on a trip to Europe and discovered that the 4-foot wide and 450-foot long ship corridor would be an ideal place to practice his dribbling skills. The tourists on those trips were often awakened by the sound of this committed player bouncing the ball on the deck as he dribbled the length of that ship, wearing eyeglass frames with cardboard taped to the bottom of the glasses to prevent him from looking at the ball as he dribbled. He was regarded as an average student his freshman year at Princeton University, but spent countless hours in the library, reading and studying, developing his tools to maximize his education. After his games at Princeton, this exhausted student athlete would venture to the library and spend hours on end committed to improving the study skills that would see him become an admired and respected learner who laid the intellectual foundation for his eventual success as a public servant. The two-time All-American and National Player of the Year was the model of humility. He was one of the most widely admired students on the Princeton campus and probably the most liked. He did charity work while attending Princeton, and every Sunday morning after the regularly scheduled Ivy League games on Friday and Saturday nights, he would get up and make time to teach his 9:30 a.m. Sunday school class at the First Presbyterian Church. He earned the respect of faculty, staff, students, journalists, with a startling number of them predicting that one day he would be the governor of Missouri. Bill Bradley was the model of a perfect teammate. He made others around him better with the example of his great work ethic, challenging his teammates to fulfill their own potential. The 6'5" forward often deferred to the other four players on the floor, preferring to set them up for a shot rather than to take his own. In the 1964 Tokyo Olympics, the United States basketball team came close to being beaten by Yugoslavia. With 2 minutes to go and the U.S. lead cut to 2 points, Henry Iba, the head coach of the Olympic team, sent him into the game. Bradley had been dishing off passes to his teammates all night, but now he knew he had to step up and assert himself. And with his 2 baskets in the closing minutes, the U.S. team closed out the 69-61 semifinal victory. Bradley and his Princeton teammates were truly exceptional in the 1965 basketball season. They were 23-6 while winning the Ivy League championship and the NCAA Eastern Regional Championship before losing in the Final Four to an outstanding Michigan team led by All-American Cazzie Russell. In those days, there was a third-place game during the Final Four, and Bradley's performance in that event was truly historic and cemented his amazing legacy. With 13,000 people watching that third-place game versus Wichita State in the Portland Coliseum, Princeton was up comfortably with just 4 minutes and 46 seconds in the game. And during a final timeout, his coach and teammates begged him to put aside his unselfishness and to look to score. Never one to set himself apart, he was apprehensive, but he reluctantly agreed to shoot, saying he would shoot until he missed. The box score of that legendary game saw him score 58 points, with 26 points scored in the final 9 minutes, 16 made without a miss after that final timeout. In a credit to his amazing performance, he was named the NCAA Final Four Player of the Year, despite the fact that he lost in the first round of the Final Four. Exemplifying the incredible balance in his life, he turned down the NBA, refusing the offer of the New York Knicks, who selected him with their top draft pick. He was ready to move on and further pursue academic excellence with his acceptance of a Rhodes Scholarship. He was totally committed to the next phase of his life as a student at Oxford University in England. Basketball was behind him. In fact, he didn't touch a ball for almost a full year. But one night in England, he traveled to a nearby American Air Force base. He picked up a ball and he started shooting alone in solitude. Within moments, he was transported back to the days when he shot alone, consumed by the sounds of swishes and the squeaks of sneakers. In a throwback to those days of working out and dreaming in elementary and high school gyms, he began broadcasting to himself. Reverse pivots, drives left, up with a baseline jumper, 2. He thought of how much he loved the game and realized he could no longer deny a part of his personality that was probably more fundamental than any other. He decided to accept a new challenge, and the following week, he flew back to America and began conversations with the New York Knicks. After serving 6 months of active duty in the Air Force, Bill Bradley joined the Knicks and went on to a 10-year Hall of Fame career. He was a vital cog in their NBA championships in 1970 and 1973, and was a well-respected and admired teammate who saw his number 24 retired by the Knicks in 1984. Always ready for his next challenge, Bradley quickly shifted gears after his retirement from basketball and fulfilled the predictions made during his senior year at Princeton as he entered the world of politics, where he went on to serve as the United States Senator from New Jersey for 3 terms. Today, he currently serves on multiple business and nonprofit boards and is a celebrated author. When I think of Bill Bradley, I always appreciate the balance in his life and how he modeled it for young kids like me, who looked up to him and became better from his example. I think of his signature move when he would drive to the basket, turn his body sideways and flick the ball over his shoulder into the basket without looking. And when he was asked how he could make that shot without even seeing the basket, he replied, "When you have played basketball for a while, you develop a sense of where you are." The sense of where you are that he learned through countless hours of solitary repetitions in the gym, on the playgrounds, and in the library became the foundation of his life. His years of excellence and success were the result of a clear vision of his goals, his overwhelming commitment, and his intense desire to succeed and make a difference in every endeavor he has ever pursued. I will be forever grateful for my role model, a man who transcended sport with each chapter in his extraordinary life, teaching balance and perspective. And I encourage you to think back and remember the special role model who motivated you. And I challenge you to accept the responsibility to be that same model for the little eyes who look up to you as you guide them toward finding their sense of where they are. Keep listening, keep learning, and strive to be your best. And remember, excellence doesn't take days off.